Hello students, welcome to my channel again. So today we are going to learn about very interesting topic, that is projectile motion. But before that you have to practice something. Okay, see here something it is written, some vectors are written, right? So do not afraid about these things, I will make you understand, and I think you should definitely understood these things very easily. So first thing is r equals to xi hat plus yj hat. I think you all know these things. What is r? R is a position vector where x component is the magnitude of r. Any vector can be divided into two or more components. So r is a vector, so it can be divided into two components. One is along x direction and one is along y direction. The magnitude is x and the magnitude of y direction is y. And the direction is noted by the unit vectors I and j. Just like that, suppose a vector is this one r. So it can be divided two components along y direction, along x direction. And the magnitude is x in x direction and y in y direction. So we can write like this way, r equals to xi plus yj. Similarly, velocity vector can be divided into two components, and acceleration vector can be also divided by two components. And I think you all know that the thing that is instantaneous velocity is defined as dr by dt, whereas the acceleration is defined as change in velocity with time, dv by dt. Okay, now these things, v equals to u plus at, these things you all learned in class in the previous chapter also and in class 11 also. So v vector equals to u vector plus at vector. This is a very known thing to you. And this one also, s equals to ut plus half at square. This one is also equation of motion, right? Now what is s? S is displacement. Now displacement means that change in position, right? Change in position. So change in position means final position minus initial position, isn't it? So we can write s equals to r minus r0, and this thing is also same. So from this equation we can calculate r. So r equals to r0 plus ut plus half at square. Hope you all understand what that mean. That means the final position equals to initial position plus initial velocity into time plus half into acceleration into time square. A is acceleration, u is initial velocity, and r is initial position, and this r means final position. Now if you write this r vector into component wise, so you get at the x component the magnitude will be x equals to x0, because r0 here, so x0 plus ux is the x component of initial velocity vector. Okay, uxt plus half axt square, same as this way, just I am writing this as a component wise. Similarly, y can also be written as y0 plus uyt plus half ayt square. Okay, understood all the things? It is very easy. Now let's do a numerical which is related to these formulas, and it is also in NCERT book, you could find it. So it is a very interesting numerics. A particle starts from origin at time t equal to 0 with a velocity 5 I hat m meter per second and moves in a xy plane under action of force which produces a constant acceleration, this one 3 I hat plus 2 j hat meter per second square. Now it says that a particle starts from origin. Now as it starts from origin, that means x0 and y0 is also 0. That means r0 is 0 because it starts from origin, isn't it? Now what is the y coordinate? We have to find what is the value of magnitude of y coordinate when the x coordinate is 84 meter. That means suppose this is y direction and this is x direction. Suppose after some time x is 84 meter. Now at this time, what is the y? What is the y component? So let's see what is r. R is equals to, r is equals to r0 plus ut plus half at square. Now as r0 is 0, so we can write u into t plus half at square. Okay, now if we want to write into component wise, okay, before that let's put the value first. Now u is given that initial velocity, it is given that 5.0, right? So 5 I hat you can write, and acceleration it is given that 3 I hat plus 2 j hat. Now if you put these values u and a in this equation, what you get? You get 5 I hat into t, right? plus half into 3 I hat plus 2 j hat into t square. Now if you separate I and j vector, unit vector, so you will get 5t plus this one is I, so 3 by 2 into t square I hat, right? And 2 into no, there is no j component, so 2 into half is 1 and t square here, so t square into j hat, right? R vector is this one I hat and this one j hat, okay? And we know that R means what? R means x I hat plus y j hat. So we can write that R vector means what? X I hat plus y j hat. Now comparing these two, we can write x equals to 5t plus 3 by 2 t square, isn't it? And similarly we can write y equals to t square. Now we have to find the at which time x is 84 meter. Now if you put 84 in this equation, suppose this is 1 and this is 2. So if you putting the value of x in equation 1, so what will be the equation? Equation will be like this way. So here 3t square equals 3t square plus, if you multiply 2 both sides, so you will get 3t minus 168 equals to 0. Now by Sridharacharya you can find t. Now t will be what? T will be minus 10 plus minus root over minus b plus minus b square minus 4ac by 2a. Okay, this is the Sridharacharya. Minus b plus minus root over b square minus 4ac by 2a. Okay. Now putting this value, you can write, so b is here 10, so minus 10 plus minus 10 square means 100, minus 4 into ac, so a is 3 and c is minus 168, and 2 into a, so 2 into a is 6. Now this, if you calculate this one, you will get two values. If you calculate this one, so it comes plus minus root over 2116 by 6. Okay, now 2116 means minus 10 plus minus 46 by 6. Now it gives you two value, minus 56 by 6. Okay, minus, if you take minus 1, so you will get minus 56, and if you take plus 46, so you will get 36 by 6. That means 6 only, right? 6. So this one is minus, so time cannot be minus, right? Time is a positive quantity, so time cannot be minus. That is why this is impossible. So time is 6 seconds. Now at 6 seconds we get t equals to at 6 seconds x is 84 meter. Okay, at 6 seconds x coordinate is 84 meter. Now what is the y coordinate at 6 seconds? Sorry. So at 6 seconds y, if you put t equals to 6, so you will get 6 square, that is 36 meter. So this answer will be 36. First question answer is 36 meter. Okay, and the second question, it is, what is the speed of the particle at this time? What is the speed? Means we have to calculate this one, velocity. Now this one, initial velocity, this is initial, not the velocity at time 6 seconds. Okay, so to find at t velocity, we have to calculate dr by dt, isn't it? So what is r? R is this one. So if you derive, if you differentiate with respect to t, so here it is t, so you will get 5 only, and here it is 3 by 2 t square. So 2 cancel out, so it will get 3t I hat plus this is t square, so it will be 2t j hat, right? Now if you put the value of t, what you get? 5 plus 3 into 6 I hat plus 2 into 6 j hat. Now you get 23, 6, 18 plus 5, 23 plus 12 j hat, right? Now what is the magnitude of this? Square of x component plus square of y component. Okay, so it is almost 23 square, that means 3 square 9, 2 into 3 into 2, that means 12, 2 into 3, 6, 6 into 2, 12. 12, remaining 1, so 2 square 4 plus 1 is equal to 5, 529, and it is 144. So if you add this, so we'll get 3, 5 plus 2 7, and 6 6 7 3. So we know if 20 we know that 26 square is 676, so it is almost near about that, so it will come almost 25.9 for 9 something, 24 5.9 something, or you can say almost 26 meter per second. Okay, hope you understand this thing, how to calculate this one. So first I am calculating position, okay, and I am dividing into components. At x equal to 84, we put 84 here and calculate the time at which x equal to 84, and putting this time into y coordinate to get the value of y, and we get 36 meter, which is the magnitude of y component. Now we have to find the velocity. Now differentiate r position dr by dt, and by differentiating we get, okay, by differentiating we get this one, differentiating we getting this one, and okay, by to find magnitude, square root of vx square plus vy square, putting this value, and we get this one. Okay, hope you understand this one. Now let's see what is project. Now today's main topic, which is projectile motion, and this topic is very important in vector, or you can say in the motion in plane. Okay, so this is very interesting topic. So first you have to learn that what is projectile. Projectile is such that when you throw a object into air under the presence of acceleration due to gravity, okay, if you throw a object into air, this is called projectile. And the projectile, the motion of the projectile, the motion of the object, the path of the object is called projectile motion. Okay, that means how the object behaves, and how the object, how the path looks like. So we are going to learn about these things, and believe me, this is very interesting. And we can often, you have seen in a cricket match or in some football matches, that when a batsman hit the ball to 6, so this type of diagram you can see that the ball is going like this way. Okay, and suppose here it is written that this is 100 meter, the distance of the 6 is 100 meter horizontally. So we can find this, how they actually calculated this horizontal distance, and the height of the 6. So we are going to learn about these things in this lesson. So listen carefully, and if you have any problem, you can write in the comment box. I will definitely answer you. So we know that when we throw an object into the air, so that object is called projectile. Suppose first we think in the image. So this is y direction, and this is x direction, and this is y direction. Now suppose an object is thrown from this point, that means origin, with the initial velocity u, okay, and with the angle of theta. Hope you understand. A object is thrown, suppose object can be a ball or can be any other thing, is thrown with this direction and with an angle of theta. Now what is the r0? What is the r0? We can write r0 is 0 because it starts from origin, right? So x0 component is also 0 and y0 component is also 0, right? Now if you throw a object into air, so definitely there is some acceleration due to gravity, right? Acceleration due to gravity. Now acceleration has two components, we know, in x direction and in y direction, right? Now do you think that acceleration has any coordinate, means any components along x axis? Because acceleration acting only downwards, so so do you think it has any component along y axis? No, it do not have any component along x axis, because it only acts in the y direction. So ax is 0, right? X is 0, and what is the y? Y is minus g, isn't it? Minus means it is downward direction, that is why, and the magnitude is g if we take. So if we put this value, so a will be minus g j hat, isn't it? So acceleration is downwards and it is minus g j hat. This is the acceleration. Okay. Now we know that r equals to ut plus half at square, isn't it? So we can write, if we want to write in component wise, so we can write x equals to uxt plus half ax t square, and similarly y can also be written as, just a minute, so y can also be written as like this way, that is uyt plus half into ayt square. Now what is ux and uy? We know what is ax and ay. We know ax is 0 and ay is minus g. But what is ux and uy? Now as you throw the ball into this direction u vector with the initial velocity, so we can tell that u has two components along x-axis. One is along x-axis and one is along y-axis, right? In this direction and along this direction. So this direction we can consider, that is ux, and this direction we can consider into uy. Now what is the value of ux? Now we know that if we know that the x component, that means which that components which make theta angle has a cos theta, and the other component has sin theta, right? So ux will be u into cos of theta and uy will be u sin theta. Okay, uy will be u sin theta and ux will be u cos theta. Now if you put these two values into this equation, so what you get u sin theta into t, and this term will be 0 because ax is 0, and y will be sorry, here I think u cos theta will be u cos theta, right? U cos theta, because x coordinate, so u cos theta, yes. And this one will be u sin theta plus half into minus g into t square. Now this will be u sin theta minus half into gt square. Now this will be the x and this will be the y after time t. Okay. Now if you calculate time t from this equation, so you get x by u cos theta. Now if you put, just first name this equation, this is 1 and this is 2, okay, and this time, now if you put this time into this one, should write t here, okay. Now if you put this value t into this one and this one, so what will be the value of y? Will be u sin theta into x by u cos theta, right, minus half of g x by u cos of theta square. Now u cos theta, u sin theta and u cos theta will be tan theta, and this will be x, so minus this one half g x square u square cos square theta. Okay. Now tan theta of x minus half into g into this one, so we can write it as tan theta x tan theta minus g x square by g into 2u square cos square theta into x square. Now don't you think that it is looks like y equals to ax plus bx square, where a and b is a constant, so you can see that this term and this term is constant, and it's almost look like ax plus bx square, this one. So this is the equation of parabola. Equation of parabola. So this will be also equation of parabola. That means the path is look a parabola. Okay, like that. It is look like a parabola. So if you throw a object into this direction with the initial velocity u, So this coordinate will be u sine theta and this coordinate will be u cos theta, right, with the angle theta. Now it's look like this. See, it reaches after some time at a maximum height and then fall again at the ground, right? So it has some range, it has some horizontal range, and it has some maximum height. Okay, now if you think clearly, so you could find that at this point, see, at every point the velocity, the direction of velocity changes. In this point you can see that velocity is in this direction. In this point the velocity direction is this one. So if you divide all this into components wise, so you will get like this way. But at the maximum point, at the maximum height, the velocity, the direction of velocity into this way. So don't you think that at the maximum height the coordinate, the y coordinate is 0, because there is no velocity and the y coordinate, only x direction, right? So at the maximum height vy is 0. If any teacher or anyone asks you that what is the velocity along at the maximum height, so in the class 9 or previous, you answer that at the maximum height the velocity is 0, but at the maximum height velocity is not 0, only y coordinate is 0, but here is some x coordinate also. So vx is not 0, vx is not 0, okay, only vy coordinate is 0. Now what is vy? Vy is dy by dt, right? As v is dr by dt, so vy component is dy by dt. So dy by dt. Now what is y? Y is this one, right? Now if you differentiate with respect to t, so d by dt into u sine theta into t minus half into g into t square, right? Now if you differentiate, so this one term is constant, so u sine theta, and dt by dt is 1, and minus half g is constant, and if you differentiate t square with dt, so you will get 2t, right? So what you get? vy is sine theta minus g into t, right? G into t, and vy is 0. Now if you put this one 0, so you can calculate the time at which the vy coordinate is 0. So it comes u sine theta by g. So this is the time at which the vy coordinate is 0. That means this is the time at which the object is at maximum height. Okay, hope you understand. Now we have to calculate the time at which it reach again the ground. So at this point the position, if you want to calculate the position, so y coordinate of this position is 0 because there is no height. So displacement at y direction is 0 because it start from this and it reach at this height only. So y coordinate at this point is 0, but x coordinate is not 0 because in x direction displacement, there is some displacement at x direction, but at y direction there is no displacement. So what is the displacement? If we consider that is r, that means the range, the maximum range. So we can calculate the maximum range, and we have to calculate at which time it falls again at this point. So if you want to calculate the time, so you have to put y equals to 0, right? Now what is the equation of y? This one, right? Now if you put y equals to 0, so you want to calculate easily the time. So u sine theta into t minus half into gt square equals to 0. So you can calculate t equals to u sine theta, right? Sorry, 2u sine theta, 2 will be there, 2u sine theta by g. This one as this time is at the maximum height. When it object reaches maximum height, it is the time, and this time when it falls at the ground, that means the time of motion, right? The total time, you can say total time. Now these two are main ingredient to find the horizontal distance and as well as the height. Now if you put this time into y equation of y, if you put this time, you will get the total height, because at this time only it reaches at maximum height. So let's see what is this. U sin theta tm minus half into g tm square. Now I am writing tm because at this time it reaches at maximum height. So y can be written as maximum height, like that. Y can be h. So this one will be h. Okay. So y direction is h. Now if you put this value tm, so you will get u sin theta and u sin theta by g minus half into g into u sin theta by g the square, and u square sin square theta divided by g minus u square sin square theta divided by 2g, and it will come u square sin square theta divided by 2g. So that is the maximum height the object can reach. Okay, that is the maximum height at which the object can reach. This one, u square sin square theta minus 2g. Hope you understand this one. Now if you want to calculate the horizontal range, so at this point x is not 0, right? X is not 0, but y is 0. Y is 0, right? So only this equation, you can say at this time, total time, y coordinate is 0 but x coordinate not 0. Now if you want to calculate x, so what is x? X is, see here, x is where? Here. X is u cos theta into t. X is u cos of theta into t, and t is at total time. What will be the x? Let's see what will be the x. So if you put u cos theta into 2u sin theta by divided by g. Okay, now x can be written as r, because the maximum range is r. The maximum range is r. Okay, so x can be written as r, and see here it is 2u square sin theta. You can write here 2 sin theta cos theta divided by g, right? So what is the value of r? 2 sin theta cos theta means what? Means sin 2 theta, right? So u square sin 2 theta by g. If we write clearly here, so r will be u square sin 2 theta divided by g. That will be the maximum range of the object. Okay, that will be the maximum range. Now if you want to calculate, see what things we are getting. We get the time at which the object reach at the maximum height. What will be the time? The time is u sin theta divided by g, right? U sin theta divided by g, and we get at the time at which the maximum time that the object travels, that is 2 u sin theta divided by g, and we get the maximum height at this time. It is u square sin square theta divided by g, and the maximum range at this time, that is u square sin 2 theta divided by, sorry, here it is 2g. These things we get. Okay, now if you want to calculate, suppose you throw a object in different angles. First object is you throw in this angle, second object this angle, and thirdly this angle. So do you think that they fall in same they cover same range? Do you think that's if this object is covered this direction, so this, if you throw in this angle, so do you think that this object is covered in same direction, means same range? Let's calculate what is the maximum range that it can cover. Okay, Now range is, we know that u square g into sine 2 theta. Now this things is constant, these things is constant, right? These things we can change the angle. So what is the maximum angle? So to find the we have to calculate at which angle sine theta is maximum. Now sine theta can varies from -1 to +1. So +1 is a maximum value of sine theta. So the maximum is +1. So at which angle sine means it is +1? It is sine 90 degree, right? So 2 theta is 90 degree. So theta is 45 degree. So at 45 degree angle, the range is maximum. So that will be u square by g. If you put this sine theta equals to 1 here, so you will get r equals to u square by g. Okay, at 45 degree angle, the range is maximum. And what is the height? Let's see. Height is u square. Here if you put sine theta equals to 45 degree, so u square by 2g, and sine theta here, sine not 2 theta, so sine theta will be what, 45 degree, so 1 by 2, right? 1 by 2 square. Sine 45 degrees 1 by root 2, sorry, isn't it? 1 by root 2. So if it is square, so u square by 2 into g into 1 by 2, so it is 1 by 4 u square by g. Now u square by g means r, so it is almost 1/4 of r. It is 1/4 of r. Okay, so if you throw with the same initial velocity but in different angles, so it will fall in different places. It cover maximum distance when it is 45 degree. So it cover maximum distance. If you decrease the angle, it will fall slightly smaller than this, and if you increase the angle, it will again slightly smaller than this. And if you change the angle in different angles, so we will get different positions. Okay, so only at 45 degree angle it covered maximum range, that is u square by g. Okay, so hope you understand this thing, the the projectile motion, and these 4 formulas is very important for the numericals, and it is very helpful. And first remember that you have to find the time at which it reaches the maximum height and at which it covers the total distance. Then you can find the horizontal the vertical maximum range and the horizontal range also. Okay, so it is very easy, and hope you understand the process, and hope you understand the derivation, that how I derive all the formulas. So if you understand these things, and hope if you have any confusion in this derivation, you can comment me in the comment section or text me also. So if you understand these things, and if it is helpful to you, so please like and comment in the comment section. Okay, so thank you, and stay home, stay safe.